Hello and welcome to Prairie Pulse. Coming up a little bit later in the show, we'll hear Minnesota musician Sam Roth. But first, joining me now is the president of Concordia University and College in Moorhead, Dr. William Kraft. Dr. Kraft, thanks so much for joining us today.
John, I'm delighted to be back. It's a pleasure to return here.
You say back? Yeah, well, we'll get into that. But before we do that, first off, tell folks a little bit about yourself and your background, where you're originally from.
Sure. My wife and I grew up in western Pennsylvania, in a little college town north and west of Pittsburgh. And my family ran a small construction business, built college buildings, and my wife's family was part of the college. My wife's dad taught in the history faculty there. So I had sort of college from the business side and the learning side from very, very early on. Went to school there and then went to graduate school in Chapel Hill in North Carolina. And from there, went to Maryland, taught in a Catholic college, Mount St. Mary's there, became a department chair, academic dean, and then in fall of 2000 was fortunate enough to be called to a Lutheran college, Luther College in Northeast Iowa, to be the academic dean there. President there was a fellow named Rick Torgerson, who's a 1964 graduate of Concordia College. And when the opportunity came to seek the presidency at Concordia College, Rick encouraged me to do that. And in the summer of 2011, I felt very fortunate to be able to come here. So I'm starting in the midst of my fourth year right here now.
Well, you say 4 years, so what's that time been like for you during those 4 years?
Well, it's been extraordinary. We have been, when I say we, I mean my wife Ann and me, have been so delighted to be part of this community. We actually live on campus in the northeast corner. I can tell you that when I first came, I wondered a little bit what it would be like to actually live on a college campus after so many years of living at least a couple blocks away. But one of the great joys that we have is being in the midst of the students every day when we're there, to see the work that they do, the transformation of their lives, to see them in the labs, in the ensembles, on the playing fields, in the arts, to see the way that their lives unfold has been a tremendous joy. And then for us to discover the incredible creativity of the Concordia faculty and staff and their devotion to transforming those students' lives so that those students can go out and, as we would say at Concordia, influence the affairs of the world. And then I think the last thing I'd mention is the great pleasure that I have all the time as president of being among the alums and the friends of Concordia College, whose devotion is astounding to me even now. People all the way back to the 1940s through those who graduated in May of 2015, who love the college and who have found their lives changed, their lives of achievement and lives of purpose. Makes me really proud to be part of that and to recognize, I think maybe what I like best is that the recognition that I'm in the middle of a story that started a long time before I got there, 124 years ago, and that will continue a long, long time after my role as president has concluded.
Well, and I know earlier, I guess, earlier this year, Concordia had to make some cuts. Can you talk about why you had to make the cuts and what brought you to it and what impact it's had?
Yeah, thanks for asking. Concordia made some reductions in its staff and faculty ranks earlier this year. This was something that we had planned rather than a kind of quick reaction to something that appeared all of a sudden. We knew, because we had done the research, that we are at a 10-year low in the number of first-time degree-seeking students in the state of Minnesota. About 2/3 of our students come from Minnesota. There are 24% fewer college-age students in Minnesota than there were in 2004. So we knew this was coming, and we knew we needed to make some changes in recognition of that. But it has not meant that we have eliminated wholesale programs. It has not meant that we have diminished our commitment to the arts or to the athletic experience of our students. In fact, we have more higher percentage of varsity athletes than we had in the past. So our effort, knowing that this was coming, was to focus our resources on curricular innovation and heightening student experience, and to build new experiences for students. So some of the things I might mention there under the heading of building is new majors that have been created at Concordia College. Since you and I last sat here 4 years ago, majors in finance, a new program in data analytics, a new program in collaboration with our friends at NDSU in agribusiness, a new program in heritage and museum studies, taking advantage of the wonderful resource of the Rourke in Moorhead and of the Plains Art Museum here in Fargo. That program grew out of a grant from the Mellon Foundation. So we have, knowing that this was coming, we focused our resources, and when we did make reductions, a great majority of those reductions were simply in not filling positions when someone departed. But if we did have to cut a position that someone was holding, we made certain that we provided a generous package for them so that they weren't simply set aside. So we planned for it, and we're confident that we have come through that strongly. And we also know, John, something I want to make sure I say, is that we know, we've, as I said, done our research, 10 years from now, that student-aged, college-age population is going to be back to where it was. But it's going to be a much more diverse population than it was 10 years ago, much more ethnically, culturally diverse population. And so one of the things that's important for us is to welcome that diversity as we do and be ready for it so that when higher numbers of Latino American, Asian American students come to Concordia's campus, they'll feel that this is a place where they can flourish.
Well, that was kind of my next question. What was your plan going forward to reverse the trend? But you said the trend is going to take care of itself. It's just an ebb and flow.
Well, the trend will, in a sense, the population trend will take care of itself. I mean, I think we're all aware that we just had a series of bond referendums here, at least on the Moorhead side of the river. You can tell that the growth in elementary schools, kindergartens, middle schools is booming here. So 10 years from now, those kids will be looking to go to college. So that trend will take care of itself, but we're doing other things as well so that we'll be able to take advantage of that trend for the sake of our students. So what I have in mind there is the curricular innovations that I talked about, new majors for our students, and new programs for students regardless of what their majors are. One of the things that I would mention most centrally here is that Concordia has begun what we call the Concordia Career Initiative. And what that is a commitment to a 4-year plan of discovery and experiential learning so that every single Concordia student will be career ready when she or he graduates, ready for a job or ready for placement in graduate school. We already have a very strong record there. We survey our graduates about 6 months after they've finished commencement, and year after year, 96 to 98% of them are already in jobs, in graduate school, or in a full-time volunteer thing like young adults in Global Mission. So we want to make sure of that. We also have changed in some important ways what we do in enrollment. We have increased by 50% the number of admissions reps that we have in the field. So we have a leaner staff, in the office and a larger staff out there so that we can get the word out. And we've had tremendous response, I should say, from our alums and our friends who are referring students. We had the best week at this time of the year last week that we've had in years and years at Concordia College. So excited about that.
Well, then talk a little bit about the enrollment this fall and what it's like and how it compares with previous years.
Yeah, sure. Enrollment this fall is about 2,200 undergraduates. That doesn't count people in the Concordia language villages, of course, which is about 10 to 11,000 participants a year, nor does it count the people in the Masters in Global Language Teaching that the college has had for some time. That number is about the number where we thought we would be at this point, and we are looking to go through a process of managed growth to build us up to around 2,400, which I think is an optimal size for us in the current demographic. 10 years from now, that number may be bigger. but we think that that's an optimal size for the college, for our students, for our faculty and staff.
Well, can you talk about the tuition? I think it's known it's somewhat higher than public universities, but talk about how that.
Sure.
How that works.
I'm thankful to have a chance to talk about that. I suppose that the cost of college is the story about higher education in the media these days. What often gets told in the headlines is, what is the sticker price? Mm-hmm. And oftentimes it's not the sticker price of Concordia, it's the sticker price of Stanford or the sticker price of Harvard. And those numbers can be pretty scary. But what I would want to tell you in response is that Concordia has been, since its founding, and it is today, an institution where students of modest means can come, can afford to come, and can thrive. So the sticker price in tuition this year is about $32,000, but the average student has a grant, and I mean a pure grant now. I'm not talking about loan yet, or work study, or other means of earning income that knocks that down by about 50%. So the average student has about 50% of that cost forgiven, if you will, by the college. The college pays its own money to make it affordable to students. And that, after that, for the remaining $16,000, that's where loans would kick in, or where work study or other forms of external income like federal grants like Pell. So the college has an extraordinary commitment to be affordable. And even our sticker price is the lowest sticker price of any Lutheran college in the state of Minnesota. The default rate on our loans, I know that a lot of people are concerned about loans these days, and families should be, given the flatness of family income after the recession in 2008 and 9. But the default rate on loans for Concordia students is 2%. The national average is 14%. And this is not because we have a bunch of wealthy students and therefore they can easily pay off loans. Concordia has one of the highest percentages of Pell Grant eligible students in this entire region, including the public universities. So the number of, the percentage of students at Concordia who are eligible for Pell Grant, and if you're eligible for a Pell Grant, that means that your family can't pay more than about $4,600 a year for tuition, is about 1 out of 4. And that's a higher percentage than many of the public universities that are around us here in our region. So we're proud of that. I think the last thing I'd mention about cost, which is absolutely vital in this conversation, is that students at Concordia graduate on time. They graduate in 4 years. A student who comes to Concordia and stays, instead of dropping out or transferring to another institution, has a more than 90% chance of graduating in 4 years. This is a story that's not told as much in the national media, but the average loss of income for every year after 4, if you take fifth year, if you take a sixth year, if you take a seventh year, is about $55,000 a year because you're not earning a salary and you're still paying tuition. So when we talk about college costs, that needs to be factored in, and we're really proud of that record at Concordia.
Okay. Well, I know when you came on board, you developed a 5-year strategic plan. Mm-hmm. Can you talk about where you are in that and how's it going?
Sure, I will. I should say that the plan was developed by the college community as a whole. We spent a year in conversation with faculty, with staff, with students, and with the regents, that is to say with the governing board of the college. So that plan was approved in October of 2012. And that plan focuses, John, I would say focuses like a laser on the student experience. There are operational forms of that plan, which I'd be happy to talk about. But what I would want to emphasize most is that plan commits us to an education of the whole self, for the whole of life, for the sake of the whole world. And what that means is that Concordia, when I say an education of the whole self, that means that Concordia remains an institution of faith and learning. We're a place that is as committed to developing students for lives of purpose and service in the world as we are a place where students develop lives of great achievement as they do. When I say an education for the whole of life, I mean a readiness for the kind of nimbleness of mind and character that's necessary in a rapidly shifting job market. The average college graduate these days will change his or her job 10 to 12 times before retirement. And I don't mean we'll just change jobs within the same organization, but we'll change the kind of job. So those students need the capacity for innovation, for rigor, and for risk. So we are developing that through a highly experiential approach to learning at Concordia College, which I'd be happy to talk about in greater detail. And when I say an education for the whole world, I mean that when you and I were in college, some of us were lucky enough to spend a month or a semester studying in some place internationally, but that was kind of a luxury back then. But now, understanding the global nature of markets, the global nature of culture, the global nature of governmental interactions is essential to thrive as a professional and as a citizen. So Concordia has that commitment as well, and I'm really pleased to say that all of those initiatives are working.
I've got too many things to ask you, and we're running out of time. So let me ask you this, and maybe you can expand on it a little bit. Why do you think Concordia is such a special place?
Wow. Boy, how many hours do we have, John? Concordia is a special place, I would say, first of all, because it has retained its mission as a place of faith and learning. At a time when there are sometimes very strong forces urging us to narrow the purpose of a college education, Concordia College insists that we can prepare students for lives of great achievement and of great purpose, of deep purpose at the same time. So there is no pulling back on the faith and learning mission of Concordia College. I think a second thing that I would mention is the exceptional commitment to community at Concordia College. The story that I hear over and over again off campus and when I'm away from campus talking to graduates, even from long, long ago, is the story of transformation. That someone, a faculty member, a coach, a staff member, saw potential in a student, that maybe that student didn't see herself or himself and was transformed. So I could mention, can I think of, Kelby Krabanov, who's the CEO of Sanford Health, who came thinking that he was going to major in biology, and someone pulled him aside and said, how about healthcare administration? And we know what he has done since. I think of a young fellow named Alex Ritter from Williston, North Dakota, who came here unsure of what he was going to do, and then was mentored by Ellen Aho and others in the biology department, just finished a PhD in cancer research at the University of Cambridge in England.
With that said, I'm sorry, we are out of time. If people want more information, where can they go? Who can they contact?
Well, they can contact me, but they can contact Concordia College at www.concordiacollege.edu.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, John. It's a pleasure.
Stay tuned for more. Sam Roth has been playing guitar since he was 10 years old. Since then, he studied guitar at Berklee College of Music in Boston and enjoys performing throughout the region. Personal experiences contribute to his music and lyrics.
Walking under sunshine with nothing on my mind. Fossil on my wrist, but I don't need to check the time. I'm doing just fine with no place I need to be. So I continue walking as a diamond shines on me. Oh, and this day is gold, and it warms my soul. And it's a beautiful day. The sun is shining and I found no need to stay. With my darkest nights and cloudy skies, it's a beautiful day. The diamond sky said it was time to walk away. Into a beautiful day. I'm stepping to the tempo set by the rhythm left behind me now. And I could stop and take a breath, but I'm not turning around. Oh, I'm not turning around, no. And if I did, I'd be doing her wrong. For she has freedom now to walk with me. The sunshine is making us strong, and it's a beautiful day. The sun is shining and I found no need to stay. With my darkest nights and a cloudy skies, it's a beautiful day. The diamond in the side said it was time to walk away. Into a beautiful It's a beautiful day. A beautiful day. And it's a beautiful day. The sun is shining and I found no need to stay. With my darkest nights and a cloudy skies, it's a beautiful day. The diamond in the sky said it was time to walk away. Hey, into a beautiful day. And open the full screen on my heart and take a look inside. I'd be racing for you in reverse from the start once I reach the finish line. Oh, come out here, baby, my love. You're a misty, can't take this city on my own. And I know you're busy, but I know you miss me so. Take these wishes on the road out to me. When you're all alone, just a drop in the ocean, afraid to go outside. Search for that place that was lost deep inside you, and she is what you will find. Come out here, baby, my love. You're a misty, can't take this city on my own. And I know you're busy, but I know you miss me so. Take these wishes on the road out to me. Come out here, baby, my love. You're a misty, can't take this city on my own. And I know you're busy, but I know you miss me so. Take these wishes on the road out to me. out to me.
Well, that's all we have on Prairie Pulse this week. And as always, thanks for watching.
Funding for Minnesota Legacy programs are provided by a grant from the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund, with money from the vote of the people of Minnesota on November 4th, 2008, and by the members of Prairie Public.